All right, in this year's midterms, one of the most anticipated elections in the entire country is happening in California, where current Governor Jerry Brown has termed out, leaving his seat vacant. Now, joining me live is California State Assemblyman Travis Allen. Travis, thanks for joining me. You are a Republican candidate for governor. We've got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about some policy, but before we get into that, tell us about the Travis Allen campaign, where it stands right now as you fight to be there in November after this June primary.
Absolutely. So our campaign is the Taking Back California campaign. It is a huge grassroots movement from across the state. You know, I was born here and raised here right in California. My whole family's had to leave the state. I've served for the last 6 years in the California legislature fighting against these policies of Jerry Brown and the Democrats. After 6 years, I realized the only way to truly change the state is to take the top seat as the next governor. So I built up the largest grassroots army. We have 40,000 volunteers across the state.
Wow.
Huge social media presence at Join Travis Allen on Facebook, and we're selling out every single event we're doing up and down the state. I think so far this year we've done about 50 flights and almost 10,000 miles.
Wow. And you did a lot to get here as well, so we appreciate it. Now, I want to start out with the repeal of the gas tax hike. This is something that Jerry Brown is really sort of hanging his hat on as he makes his way out of office. Now, you've had a vital role in this so far. You're involved in this initiative that's set to to fight this repeal, or to bring the repeal.
To repeal it, just to get rid of it, yeah.
Well, let's talk about your involvement there, and how do you assure Californians that they're not going to be paying more at the pump after November's election?
Very simply. So this is the repeal of the gas tax. I'm the original author. So I sat there in the legislature when I watched this bill pass, and I'd fought it and, made speeches and all that. But Jerry Brown steamrolled the California people, and he lied when he said he'd never raise taxes without voter approval. So I went down and I wrote the original repeal of the gas tax. I fought the Attorney General for 6 months in court. But ultimately, I decided there was 2 efforts. It made more sense to join both efforts. They have since joined. We have tens of thousands of Californians that are getting signatures across the state. Over 600,000 signatures collected so far. It will be on the November ballot. But the key here is that every Californian has to know that your gas prices just went up by 12 cents a gallon on regular, 20 cents on diesel. Your car registration just went up by up to $175.
Right.
And you can fight to change this. California doesn't need any more of your tax money.
Right.
We have plenty of money. We just have to actually spend it on our roads as opposed to taxing California citizens.
Now, on that, how do you balance the fact that, where you're attempting to repeal this gas tax hike, but then with the fact that the president has mentioned that might be needed to pay for this $1.5 trillion infrastructure plan?
So they're totally separate issues. See, here in California, when Jerry Brown was first elected in 2010, the California State General Fund budget was $86 billion. Today, just 8 years later, it's $131 billion. That's an increase of over $45 billion, or 50%. Jerry Brown and the California Democrats don't need your money to fix our roads. What they want is they just want to take more money up to Sacramento. And as you know, Californians already pay among the highest tax in the nation. Highest income tax, highest sales tax, one of the highest corporate taxes, and now one of the highest gas taxes. So we need to send a message, which is, look, Californians are taxed enough. Let's cut the taxes. And we start with the repeal of the gas tax.
Well, I want to, of course, a lot of talk about sanctuary cities in California, the sanctuary state that the Golden State exists as. Now, how do you feel about communities around Sacramento, communities around San Francisco, riding the coattails of the spirit that's currently happening in Southern California? Is that possible, and how would that happen?
It's already happening. So in my district, I've represented about 13 cities, all or part, in the California legislature for the last 6 years. I'm based in Surf City, Huntington Beach, California, but one of the smallest cities in my district is a town called Los Alamitos.
Right.
They were the very first ones to kick down the door and tell Jerry Brown, we're going to opt out of your illegal sanctuary state. And since then, cities are going across the state of California. Huntington Beach joined on. Just last night, we had yet another city join on, Westminster. It's one of my other cities in Orange County.
Escondido's, a little closer to San Diego
as well. And so now all of these cities across the state are saying, hey, Jerry Brown, California Democrats, we want to follow federal immigration law. We don't want to shelter people who are here in our country illegally that are committing crimes while they are here, which is exactly what the sanctuary state does. This is not just about illegal immigration. This is the concept that people who come here illegally that are committing crimes will now be sheltered with California taxpayer dollars. So I've started a petition, and you can find it online. It's jointravisallen.com or on my Facebook at Join Travis Allen. And this petition will have your city opt out of the illegal sanctuary state. We've already gotten over 35,000 signatures from over 300 cities across California. And next week, we'll be mailing out all of those letters to every single city across California saying your citizens want to opt out of this illegal sanctuary state. So we are going to fight this from the bottom up. And you already know, as the next governor of state, I have pledged to reverse the illegal sanctuary state from the top down in my first 100 days in office.
Right. Well, a lot of this, can't happen unless you're voted in. And on that, of course, we are in California now. I've been speaking with a public interest or a public interest legal fund. It's a watchdog group who's been looking into California and illegal voting. They're trying to dig up some of those illegal votes. Tell me this, how much do you think that will impact November's election? How much will illegal voters impact your results?
Massively, massively. Let's just be very clear here, Patrick. If the White House is listening to us right now, you need to come to California. You need to clean up the voter rolls. There is so much fraudulent voting going on here in California. To give you an idea, the California DMV has issued over 1 million driver's licenses to people who are here in our state illegally over the last 3 years. Right. And every time they get a driver's license, there is a section of the driver's license application that is to register to vote. There's 2 boxes. One says register here if you're a legal citizen and you automatically get registered to vote. One says no, I'm not a citizen, and you wouldn't be. If you don't fill out that part of the form, they have been assuming that you're automatically a citizen, and we have no idea who's voting. So that's why I've called for an audit of the California DMV, an audit of the Secretary of State. We have too many people here voting in California that have passed away, have moved away, or may even be illegal. So if the White House is listening right now, if we have legal funds around the country, come to California now. It's 2018. We got the election in June, the election in November. Help us clean up our voter rolls. Judicial Watch has already found out that there are more people that are registered to vote in California than we have adults of voting age across the state.
Right.
This is insanity, and this is how the California Democrats have kept their iron grip in power on California. So if you want to fight voter fraud, it starts right here in California.
And we're running a little short on time, but quickly, surprised that Governor Brown sending National Guard troops to the border? You surprised?
Well, look, I'm impressed with the fact that we're sending them, but if you read the note when he actually sent these, he said we're going to send them, but we're going to tie their hands. Right. This is absolute nonsense. The president was very clear. Send the troops to the border, enforce federal immigration law. As the next governor of the state of California, you already know, I believe that the federal immigration powers are sovereign. They're to our federal government. They're guaranteed by the Constitution. This is our right as California citizens to have secure borders, and that's what we should be doing with the National Guard.
Well, we've got your website here. How are you reaching out to the voters nationwide?
So find us online. Find me at jointravisallen.com or Join Travis Allen on Facebook. We have almost 500,000 followers, reaching about 4 million people every single week. But follow what we are doing and get involved. This is the year we change everything in California. Remember, this race, once I win in June and I'm in the top 2, becomes the hottest race in the nation. If Republicans realize that we can take the governor's seat here in California, it changes the electoral map of the country for a generation.
All right. Current State Assemblyman Travis Allen, Republican candidate for Jerry Brown's current seat. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, Patrick.
We can use your help. Call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call today.